Hello, everyone. This is the Crow, and these are your messages for right now. This is a timeless reading. It is meant for the collective energy. And this reading in specific is going to be for those of you who feel like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now. So if you've been feeling some energy of despair, of not seeing a solution to a certain problem, to a certain difficulty, this reading is for you, okay? I will be pulling out some tarot cards and also some oracles and some handwritten messages as advice for what you should be doing right now. So this reading is going to be focused on what you should be doing in order to solve this situation that you're going through. So if you've been feeling like you can't quite see the light, like there's a certain situation that's been bothering you, a certain problem, and you can't seem to figure it out, then you'll get some messages in this reading, okay? So I will shuffle the cards and I will allow them to fly out by themselves. My intention is to get about 3 cards, okay? And then I will clarify all of them, but we'll see what comes out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy with me and for liking and commenting on the videos. If you wish to watch more of my videos, you can always subscribe. You know how YouTube works. And thank you in advance. So let's go. And I already have a flipper card. So we're starting with the 9 of Wands. Yeah, the wounded warrior energy. Let's see what else. Thank you. We have a King of Swords. Mental action, mental energy. What else? And we have 2 more cards. Yeah. The Devil and the 9 of Swords. Yeah, so this is totally the energy that I was picking up on. You are dealing with a difficulty right now. You are dealing with some kind of situation that doesn't seem to end. An ongoing nightmare, an ongoing challenge. The 9 of Swords is a card that speaks about something that keeps repeating, an uncomfortable situation that keeps on repeating, okay? And it is a card that usually pushes us to make a change. So it's a card that can talk about our own pattern behaviors, our own behavioral patterns. I'm sorry, I keep making that mistake. It's a card that can talk about our comfort zones, the way that sometimes we can be in a difficult situation, but we're comfortable in it, if that makes sense. I can give an example of this. For example, maybe you are in a job and you've been at that job for many, many years and you know you don't like that job and the conditions are not the best conditions for you. You wish for something more. You are in pain at that job. You don't want to do it anymore, but you are afraid to move. And that's what creates the 9 of Swords, that kind of cycle, okay? Being stuck in something because you are afraid to move. And you may feel like you are unable to move, but that's not the case, okay? This person here on the 9 of Swords has had many experiences in the past, and he has the knowledge from those experiences. And if he uses that knowledge to get out of that bed, he will leave the situation. It's not going to be easy, but he can do it. Okay, so you can do it. We have, for some reason, I want to read this like this. I want to read the cards like this, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, this is not time specific, so I'll just grab them as I feel. You have the Devil, and the Devil definitely talks about toxic energies. And this is just confirmation that the situation you are in right now is not good for you. It is a toxic environment. It is a heavy energy. And again, with the patterns of behavior, I keep getting that. There's something that you are doing, something that you are feeding, that you've been feeding for a long time because that's just the way you've learned to do things. You've been doing something the same way for the longest time, and that's why you are in pain. That's why you are facing a certain difficulty right now. This disappointing energy that you're feeling, this angst, this hurt that you're feeling right now, it's because you keep repeating something. You have to stop. And I know it's not easy, but it's the only way for you to move on to a new cycle, for you to allow new energy to come in, is if you release something that's not good for you. And clearly there's something here that is not good for you. We have the King of Swords also. I don't feel like this is your energy. I do actually feel like this is someone else around you being represented by this King of Swords. So there's someone who might have a hand on your situation. I'm not getting a very good vibe from this King of Swords. So maybe the difficulties that you're facing, you're not facing them alone, or you're not in total control of what's happening. Maybe that's why you feel like there's no way out, but there is a way out. There's always a way out. Okay, there's always another option. There's always a way around it. And you feel like you have been defending yourself, protecting yourself with that Nine of Wands energy. Okay, but although this person has been hurt, although this person is exhausted, they are capable, very, very capable. They successfully have stood their ground. They have successfully defended their land, okay? They feel the pain from what they've been through, but they're standing, okay? They are still on their 2 feet, holding on to that wand, a wand that they've built, a wand that belongs to them, and they have all of those other wands around him, supporting him and protecting him. So this person is still standing, just like you. You might feel like you have to go against someone, which is this King of Swords energy. This is probably one of the people who's bringing in toxic energy into your field. I'm not saying that this person is to blame, okay? That's not what I'm saying here, but probably one of the reasons why this is happening in your life right now, whatever this is. It could be anything for you guys. It could be a toxic relationship. It could be a toxic work environment. It could be just a toxic way of living and being in life. Let's clarify. I wanna actually start by clarifying that King of Swords, because it's really calling out to me, and not in the best way. So he seems very harsh. He seems very, I don't want to say cold, but yeah, egotistic. For some reason, some of you guys might be seeing a lot of cats. A cat might cross your path while walking down the street or driving your car. Be aware of that, not to run over any cats. You might be seeing a lot of cats. And you know, cats are very independent creatures, but they're also very selective. And they really truly enjoy their peace and their space. So there's something about that for you here. So maybe this is a fight between you wanting your freedom and feeling stuck, feeling like someone's got a hold of you. This could definitely be a toxic relationship with someone who just wants to keep track of what you're doing, where you're going, how you're living your life, and you're trying to break away from it. Tell me about the King of Swords, please. Thank you. Anything else? That's it. Three of Wands. Okay, so the Three of Wands talks about exploring new opportunities and new lands, exploring new paths. This person here has built their kingdom, and they kind of feel like there's nothing else that they could do. They kind of feel like, okay, I've built all of this. What now? What can I do now? It's kind of actually being a bit bored with their life, because they're not seeing that they have that whole golden ocean in front of them, and they could just jump into any of those ships and have a new adventure. So the Three of Wands calls you to have an adventure. The fact that it is clarifying this King of Swords energy is telling me that you are definitely wanting to move away from this energy. I'm sorry. My voice just keeps cracking. Oh my God, I just said a bad word on YouTube. Okay, I don't care. Guys, just bear with me. Okay, so my voice keeps cracking. That's what I meant. The fact that this card is clarifying the King of Swords, yeah, you wanting to walk away from this energy for sure. You want something new. You want a new adventure. This is the energy, one of the energies that's keeping you stuck. But again, I will say this, there is always a way out, okay? We are never truly stuck, never truly bond to anything. We are energy. We are here to learn how to master and manipulate energy. That is the whole point of our experience here. That's what I believe in. You guys can believe in whatever you want, but if you stop to think about it for a second, everything is energy. And there have been many, many studies about how we can manipulate energy, how we are able to do that. And I truly believe that the reason why we are here is to manipulate energy, is to learn how to work with the energy field. So we are never truly bound, never truly stuck to anything. We just might fear the change because we're comfortable where we're at and we're fearing the future. We might fear letting go of what we know because the unknown can be extremely uncomfortable, but that's the only way we will actually grow. And that's also the only way that we'll be able to step away from toxic things. If something's hurting you, you don't want to stand there. You want to move away from it. You don't want to keep allowing something to hurt you. Okay? My cat just meowed. And yeah, I was getting that message about you guys seeing cats, a cat crossing your path or something like that. Pay attention to that because that might be a signal of you having to move towards your independence. If you just suddenly see a cat crossing your path, or a cat staring at you, or you just see more cats than you usually do, I don't know. Yeah, just pay attention to that. I want to know about the devil. Tell me about the devil energy. What is this toxic energy about? Thank you. Thank you. Is there more? Yeah. Okay. So we have the Seven of Swords. We have an Eight of Swords. And we have the counterpart of that King of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. Okay. A lot of air energy here. A lot of swords energy. You guys might have strong air placements. This person who's in your field could definitely be an Aquarius, a Libra, a Gemini, someone with strong air placements in their chart. And if they're not any of those signs, they're someone who embodies that energy, someone who can be very logical, very methodical. But I get a very selfish vibe from this King of Swords. You will know who this is. This person is probably someone who's going to exhibit some pretty narcissistic traits, okay? Someone who's very self-centered, okay? But yeah, clarifying that devil, we have these three cards. And starting with the Seven of Swords, this is the third solution that I was talking about, okay? This is... I feel for some reason that you've been wanting to get away from something and this energy is not allowing you to. Or you feel like they don't allow you to. They might be wanting to keep you where you're at because you are expanding, you want to expand, you want to grow. And this energy, this King of Swords, does not want you to do that. They want you to stay where you're at because you're much easier to manipulate if you're in a lower frequency, right? You're much easier to control if you are in a lower state, if you are in a denser state. Whereas if you open your horizons and if you open your mind and your heart, you're not as easy to control because you will have different perspectives of things. And with the Seven of Swords, I feel like this is the third option that you are looking for. So this person here is stealing those swords from that army in order to not to go to war. They are avoiding a war by stealing the swords. Think about that for a second. You have to steal the power from this toxic energy. That's what you have to do. That's the solution for that devil. It's discard. It's stealing its power. How you do that? I don't know. You guys will have to figure that out. We might get some more clues here in the tarot, but you have to think about that. How can you take back your power? Okay? And we also have the Eight of Swords, which is being stuck, feeling like you can't move, feeling like you have no options. Okay? And I remind you that the fact she's got the blindfold on, it's advising you to trust your intuition when it comes to making decisions and to choosing things, dealing with things, dealing with the problem. She believes that she is stuck, okay? She believes that she can't get herself loose, but she can get herself loose. The only reason why she's not able to get herself loose right now is because she's not trusting her intuition, and she's only seeing a way, one way of doing things. She's not looking for another option. She believes that she's stuck because this is swords energy. So remember, guys, swords represent our thoughts. So it's all in our head. This is happening in her head. She believes that she's stuck, but she's not actually stuck. She just perceives things that way. Okay? It's clarifying the devil card again with that Seven of Swords too. So it's all in your head. You have to look for that solution. Okay? And yeah, the Queen of Swords, like a lot of air energy again. And this is the counterpart for that King of Swords. With this, I'm not saying that you and the person that you're dealing with are soulmates, okay? Just to get that clear. Sometimes people mistake those things. There's something you should pay attention to when you look at these two, okay? Unlike the other kings and queens in the tarot, these two kings, these two, this king and this queen, they are not facing each other. Just look at that. This king is facing forward and this queen is facing in another direction, okay? And this is what I feel is happening with you, is that you are wanting to turn your back on this energy. You want to move that way. A very interesting thing about the Queen of Swords is that she's willing to receive. She's got her hand sticking out, but her sword is up. Anything that's toxic, she will cut it out. Anything that doesn't benefit her, she will cut it out. So you are being advised to embrace the Queen of Swords energy, who is someone who sees things clearly. She's finally seeing things clearly. She has these clouds halfway up her body because she finally sees through the illusions. She has learned how to master her mind, how to master her thoughts. And she sees through the illusion of things. She can see what's to come. It's a very futuristic energy, okay? She's looking into the future and she can see what's going to come because she already knows. She has the wisdom, she has the experience to see what's to come. And she has her back turned to anyone and anything else. It's a very, very independent energy. Again, you are being advised to work on your independence. And I do feel like that's what you want. And I think that's why you are in this state right now, because you feel like you can't be independent, but you can. You can and you will. Okay? You know, I am going to clarify. I don't feel like I need to clarify that Nine of Wands, to be honest, but I am going to clarify the Ten of Swords because I want to get a bit more of why you're feeling so stuck. Tell me about that Nine of Swords. Something about a river flowing. I can hear the water flowing in the river, like really fast, like like when there's a waterfall and then there's the river, you know, and the water just goes really, really fast. And if you were to dive in it, you would just be taken by the river like effortlessly because the river is just so strong. There's something here about that. So maybe listening to water sounds, some healing water frequencies would be good for you. And I can make the association with that because there's a lot of swords energy here. So there's a lot of air energy. And if you are going to be embracing this Queen of Swords, which is very logical, very mental energy, you should also connect with your heart center. And water represents our emotions. So maybe being near water will help you achieve the balance between what you are feeling and what you are thinking, what you are feeling and where your logical mind actually needs to go in order for you to make a decision. Because I do feel like you need to use your logical mind right now, okay? Use your intuition, but make things, make rational decisions. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Tell me about the Nine of Swords. Oh, wow. Seven of Wands. Another card of defending your ground. Specifically, this one is actually really about defending your ground, defending yourself. Yeah, it goes with that Nine of Wands card. Look at these two cards. It would actually be like this. So this is the fight before the Nine of Wands that leaves you tired. Okay, curious thing about this Seven of Wands card. This person had to leave in a rush in order to defend their ground, defend their assets. And you can tell that because this person is wearing a different pair of shoes in each of his feet. So he's got a boot here and then he has like this shoe here. That's representing the fact that he did not have the time to choose. He did not have the time to prepare himself, or he felt like he did not have the time to prepare himself. But he still managed to get the things done. He still managed to protect himself. So it's a card that tells you that you are as ready as you will ever be to make this change, okay? It is clarifying the Nine of Wands. So again, you might be feeling stuck right now in this loop of pain, of hurt, feeling like you are stuck in a situation, like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, and that's what I was getting before we started the reading. But you are as ready as you will ever be to make a change for yourself. Okay, that's what the Seven of Wands is telling you. You can do this. You have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you can. You will. There's no point in waiting for a better time. There is no better time. Okay, it is when you decide to do it. Something's going to happen and something will change once you put your mind to it. If you wait around, you're just going to be feeding this Nine of Swords. You're just going to be stuck in this nightmare. And honestly speaking, this card is the card that I just dislike the most in the tarot. Okay? And the reason for that is because this card represents something that it just represents an endless painful cycle, endlessly in pain. And none of us want to be like that, right? So it is hard to let go of things that we've known for a long time, whether those things are people, places, ways of thinking, habits of ours. Okay, it can be extremely difficult, but that's the only way we will grow, is if we change those things when we feel like we should, which you definitely feel like you should, otherwise you would not be in pain. And you are as ready as you will ever be. Okay, that's as much as I have to say there. So now let's get an oracle card as your advice, and let's also get some handwritten messages. Okay, I'm actually going to start with the handwritten messages and then we'll get the oracle. So this is advice for you, both this and the oracle card. Okay, so this is meant to help you. timing. We have timing. So you are feeling the pressure of time. You are feeling the pressure of time to make this change. Let me get some more. Try again. That's interesting. Yeah, so maybe it's like I said, you've been trying to get away from this energy. You've been trying to get away from it. You want to. You are being advised to get into this Queen of Swords energy, which is to turn your back on this King of Swords, to get away from that toxic energy. You are trying to try again. Try again. It's time to try again. And I am not reading this timing card as in divine timing, okay? Or as in you have to wait. No, it's the opposite actually. Like I said, it's you will never be as ready as you are. It's the time is now to move. Try again. Move again. I want to get some more. You will get it this time, okay? You can do this. Time to move. I mean, there you have it. Okay, I don't know what else I can say with that. Let's get an oracle card. Okay, give us some oracle. Some oracles as advice. At least one, but if we can get some more, that's also welcome. Thank you. Again with the cats. What's with the cats? I think you're going to be seeing cats. That's, or maybe there's something about the spirit animal of a cat. You should Google that if you're interested, of course. I actually have been wanting to get a tarot deck, or an oracle deck, more specifically, about the spirit animals, and research a bit more on that because I don't have much knowledge on that. So you might want to do a little bit of research on what the spirit animal of a cat represents for you. Okay? It seems to be important. I was getting definitely the vibe of the independence and all of that. And it's very clear in this reading, but there might be something else for you if you want to research that. So we have, look past what you feel are your incapabilities. Instead, focus on everything you have achieved so far. It is okay to acknowledge your weaknesses, but keep in mind that they don't define you. Your strength and your beautiful soul are clear for all to see. Yeah, I mean, looking past your weaknesses, right? I mean, you are able to defend yourself. You are able. Think of everything you have achieved, how much you have stood up for yourself. Look past the weaknesses. Look past this devil energy, okay? Look in another direction. Move away from this terrible, unending nightmare, okay? I want to get another one. Give me another oracle, please. I hope this is resonating with you guys. And if you are indeed going through this energy that I am feeling right now, I just want you to know that you are not alone and that you can do this, okay? We are so capable. When we believe in ourselves, we are so capable, okay? But don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of going through a rough patch. Everyone goes through those things. And sometimes we might just not have the strength in a certain moment. And we might need a bit of a rest. And we can take that rest. But then we just have to keep moving. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck. Oh, there we have it. Okay, so we have count all of your blessings, even the small ones. Show gratitude and appreciation for all that you have in your life and all that has yet to come into it. Your best days are still ahead of you. Isn't that a wonderful thought? Yeah, so didn't I talk about the boring energy of... I think I said that. I hope I'm not confusing this. I think I said that about something boring, being boring, and a boring energy of... If not, okay, just bear with me because I do feel that. Yeah, and I mean, it would be boring if you are living the same nightmare over and over again. Okay, not only scary but boring. Like if you're stuck, if you feel like things just aren't moving, aren't changing. So don't be afraid to take a new step. Don't be afraid to dream, okay? And essentially think how much a certain change is going to bring abundance into your life, and it's going to bring prosperity. Once you let go of that devil energy, that toxic, either person, environment, habit, whatever that is for you, think of how well off you are going to be once you've done this. Okay? Don't focus so much on how hard it is to change it. Focus on the outcome. Focus on what you will harvest after that. Okay? So, guys, I'm going to leave the reading here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing your energy. And I'm sending you a lot of strength in this moment. And yeah, I will see you next time. Stay strong.